Tarantulas, tarantulas, everybody loves tarantulas. If there's a piece of fuzz where your hamster was, it's probably because of tarantulas. Okay, sound check is go. We are live. Hello! It's me, Winston Webster, Gaming Garden Spider, at your service. But please, just come with dubs. Everybody does. And today, we are playing, it's an oldie, but a goldie. It's Face Day Night! Yeah! I've never played the game, but I have watched a lot of the animes, including the cooking-based spin-off, which is unironically is actually my favourite. It's just so wholesome, and a little out of step, a bit of a culture shock going from all the blood and death and violence from the original series. They go into this quaint little, this happy family cooking show. But it kind of works, you know? It kind of works. Anyway, so I was just familiarizing myself with the controls, which I will no doubt forget immediately. Because there's not much space over here in this little... well, there's a lot of space, but that doesn't mean you can put stuff in. So, you know... goes in one ear and out the other. Yeah, so I was just familiarising myself with the controls. I'd just gotten to the old chestnut. Good times. Good times. Anyway, I think it is high time that we got going. Started playing. So, looking forward to this. This is the Steam version. So, for anyone kind of looking forward to any of those spicy scenes, they're not in it. Sorry. This is an all-ages version. Yeah, if you're looking for something a little more kind of ero, then you'll want the Ultimate Edition, which is not on Steam. Sorry. You'll have to go somewhere else for that. Not that I would know where to find that. Obviously. But yeah, so we're going to be playing the Steam version, the remaster. Because it's just so much easier to... so much... Anyway, so... I'd paused just at the very beginning, because we've got this prologue bit. So I will do a... I'm not quite sure how... Because I did put the game down a bit. I'm not quite sure how loud the voices will be, so we might do another little sound check, just where I go mute myself for a second when they start talking, because they've got voice acting in this. So I want to make sure that people watching the VOD, it's not just me talking over everybody. You can actually hear the proper, real voice actors, and not just some random guy in his bedroom talking over them. Because nobody's here to listen to me. Nobody's here to listen to me. But anyway, I'm waffling. So, back. Type Moon presents. The tip of the spear was like a flash of lightning. A spearhead thrust to skewer the heart. Even attempting to evade it was pointless. 'Twas but a flesh wound. I mean a flash. I'm sorry, my reflexes. My mind just automatically went, "Oh, 'twas but a flesh wound." It was but a flash, too swift for the human eye to follow. But what about a spider's eye? And yet, moonlight swept in to save me. Oh, that's nice of the moonlight. Very generous of it. From the strike that threatened to end me. Used me twice at the end of a sentence in a row. That's bad writing. What do I know about writing? I'm just... The sound was beautiful, like the tolling of a bell. No, truth be told, the sound hung over me, heavier than iron weight. Or iron, depending on your accent. We don't, so both are valid. This beauty had little to do with aesthetics. The stark armor wrapped around her was like the frozen night itself. Wow, that's very poetic. Don't know what it means, but... The ringing was not in itself pleasant. It was the sound of steel. But the night herself was beautiful enough to make it the chiming of a bell. Oh. Her voice resonated in the darkness. I hope you guys could hear her. They've got some great VAs for this. I'm not going to translate their lines. It's just, which is good. Everyone can understand it. It's fine. I'm the narrator, so I read the narrator bits. Oh, that uniform's ruined. I'm talking over them again. Indeed, the pact was sealed. Just as she chose to serve me, I'm sure, in that moment, that I swore to save her. I mean, she's the one with the big-ass sword. I don't know what I'm going to do here. The moonlight cut through the darkness. As if in imitation of the night, the storehouse regained its former calm. Time had stopped. The vision before me lasted less than a second, Be that as it may, I will always remember the sight of her, as clearly as if it were still happening now, even if I fall into the very depths of hell. The faint slant of her profile, her serene, divinely green eyes. For a moment, time stopped, and her silhouette, draped in blue, swayed in the wind. What wind? We're inside. How drafty is this place? I was struck by the They should have hired a narrator who could actually pronounce words. I was struck by the pale blue glow. Her hair, as fine as golden thread, was bathed in moonlight. Fate. /Stena. This happened 10 years ago. 10 years ago? Bit of a time skip? I see someone who takes me back. He's tall, with chiseled features. Now, I've never known him to crack a joke. He ruffles my hair affectionately. No, that's not what this is. It's more like he's grasping my head and working it like a stubborn jaw. That, guys, just FYI, that's not how you pat someone's head. That's not how you do that. Maybe he just doesn't know how to control his strength. I hope he doesn't open my skull like a jaw. That would be rather messy. That's one ugly pickle. It's not even the right color. Well, that's only to be expected. It's the first time he's ever done something like this, after all. It's time for me to leave. You know what to do next. I answered yes, in a somber voice. He nodded once, withdrew his hand, and stood up. And that's all. Had I known this would be the last time we would ever see each other, I would have done my best to make him laugh with a perfect joke. I can never think of a good joke at the time. I always think of it like a couple of minutes later, or, well, if I'm lucky. Usually it's a couple of days later. There's a bit of a delay. I'll get there in the end, though. Get there in the end. I've been practicing punchlines and oh, they're just like me, for real, for real. I've been practicing punchlines in private, in the hopes of finally seeing a smile crack that stony face. So relatable. If I have one regret, it's that I never got to tell him any more of my jokes. I'm sure they were great jokes. Oh, it's little Rin. Baby Rin. Get the association in your debt before you become an adult. Any decisions after that, I leave up to you. I'm sure you'll manage on your own. And so he said, but I bet he was right about me. He told me about our family's heirloom jewels, the gems passed down to us from our Grand Master. And how... do they mean grandfather? And how to manage the underground workshop. It was a rapid-fire course of subjects he'd never taught me before. Even as a child, I realized that he would probably never come home again. There was a war. War. War never changes. Not a war between countries, but between people. But in this war, there are only 7 combatants. It might not have seemed fitting to call it a war, But having mages involved changes things. 7 mages from different factions competed. But I wasn't sure why. They killed each other using methods I didn't really understand. One of them was the man in front of me. It meant that he would kill, and eventually be killed. I'm sure he felt the ticking of his life's clock even more keenly than I did. Rin, before long, the Holy Grail will appear. It is the duty of the Tosakas to obtain it. But above all, it is a path we are destined to walk as mages. And with that, he ruffled my hair one last time and left. I never saw him again. I'm just so sad. Poor little baby Win. She lost her dad at such a young age. It's not right. It just ain't right. My father/teacher was one of the masters who participated in the Holy Grail War. He never came home. Why did they voice that bit? They should have got to voice all of that. It would have been more emotional. Coming from her rather than me, just some scrub. I know I haven't met Mrs. WhatsApp. Okay, you don't need to go away. Breaking the immersion, WhatsApp. Come on. It's gonna dox me in a minute. I had to play this in windowed mode. Screen grab. You can see all of my gubbins at the bottom. You can see all of my gubbins. Oh, it's already moving. I bid him farewell, as a well-behaved daughter should. I knew I was on the verge of tears. You and me, Moses! You and me both! But I didn't let them show. I loved him. He was a great father, and an even greater mage. Mages are stubborn people. As far as I knew, there wasn't a more upstanding man in the whole world. As my instructor, he trained me. As my father, he loved me. So I decided I'd accept the things he left for me and choose my own path. Rin, before long, the Holy Grail will appear. You've already said this bit. I heard the first time. I do have... my ears do function. It is the duty of the Tosakas to obtain it, but above all, it is a path that we are destined to walk as mages. I guess this might be a flashback within a flashback. It's kind of flashbackception. This is a very serious emotional moment. I'm kind of lowering the tone, I think. That tends to happen a lot. I'm not a very cultured individual. In the end, his final words for me were given as a mage, not a father. That was the moment I made up my mind. Oh. I feel the voices are a bit quiet. Sorry, I was doing a sound, listening to the... I think the voices might be a bit too quiet. Is there anything I can... see, can I... Voices sound a little... They've got some great voice actors for this, and you're not going to be able to appreciate them. Configuration. Volume mix. Can we... a bit more on the voices. Perhaps. It's just... I don't know. VGM, who cares about VGM? Who cares about that? Voices. Let's see if that's a bit better. I don't know if that's... Sound settings. VGM. Yeah. So what's this? So if we go normal... Oh, okay. Right. So normal kind of balances the BGM and the voices and sound effects and system sounds down. If we go emphasize on the voices, then voices go up, so BGM goes down. Yeah, okay, let's go with that one. Let's go with that one. Okay. Okay. Let's hope that's a bit better. Sorry, guys. It's only natural for an apprentice to live up to a master's hopes. That's how I, Rin Tosaka, grew up after experiencing life's twists and turns. It's been 10 years since my father went off to war. I wouldn't say I've been looking forward to this day, but I am a bit on edge. But that goes without saying. After all, that moment, which was burned in my memory 10 years ago, will soon be upon me again. '31st of January. I hear something. Probably nothing. Don't worry about it. You can snooze. Ring, ring. Ring, ring. Ring, ring. Ring, ring. Pick up your phone. Ring, ring. Ring, ring. Ring, ring. Pick up your phone. Ring, ring. Ring, ring. Ring, ring. Pick up your phone. Ring, ring. Sorry. Oh, another sound check. Hang on. I still don't know if you guys can hear them. That was a little, although that was a little quiet because they were just moaning. I don't know. We'll do another sound. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have anyone in my live chat to help me with the sound bounce, and I've even got my own stream up on my tablet just off to the side, trying to do it, and it's not. I'm trying to make this. It's not working. Anyway, we're back to the story. The noise doesn't stop. Such an infernal racket. This is almost as if it's here to avenge my father. My name is Alarm Clock. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Ugh, mood. I wish it had just let me sleep just a little bit more. In fact, it should. I stayed up into the early hours deciphering my father's will, and I used a hell of a lot of magic energy to do it. I'm totally exhausted, body and mind. Ring, 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 pick up your phone. Ring, 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 pick up your phone. Ring, 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 pick up your phone. Ring, ring. The alarm clock is deaf to my complaints. It knows what it's done. What kind of machine makes a noise that seems like its sole purpose is to remind you that you're late? There's a time and a place for everything. No matter how much of an overachiever I am, I should try to make it to school in time, at least for today, if only slightly. Oh, very responsible of you. Doesn't that sound kinda off? I peer at the alarm clock through sleep-heavy eyelids. The hands point to 7 o'clock on the dot. I usually get up at 6:30, which means I have completely used up my safety margin. Speaking of which, why is my brain so slow in the morning? That's just everyone, you know. It takes a while to boot up, you know. I glare at the alarm clock for several seconds. I shut off the alarm and climb sluggishly out of bed. Oh, birds. The morning chill bites at me as I cross the hallway and enter the parlour. Where's a parlour in this day and age? This is the final 7 a.m. in January. We're not going to see its kind again. Not for another year. Winters in Fuyuki are relatively warm, but the mornings here are as cold as anywhere. Even at home, my breath mists. Wow. You need some central heating. It's like you're breathing out mist in your house? So what? Girl, turn on the thermostat. It's just that much colder without anyone else living here. I don't think any extra people are going to... The body heat, I don't think that's the contributing factor here. I turn on the heater and go wash up. Single living is so inconvenient at times like this. If there was someone else here to make up before me, the parlour would already be heated. I'm sure you can get a heater that turns on automatically. You set a little timer. I'm sure that's a thing. There must be a thing. Is that a thing? It's gotta be a thing. Come on, it's the big 2.6. We've gotta have that as a thing right now. I wash my face at the sink. I want to brush through my long hair and get dressed. A chilly morning in a frigid bathroom. The only thing to be said for it is that the cold water mercilessly beats the sleepiness from me. With a final tug on the ribbon at my collar, I finish getting dressed. All that's left is to have breakfast and go to school. Or we could do both at the same time and have, just run with a slice of toast in our mouth, as they all, the good old-fashioned traditional way. I mean, how else are we supposed to meet the other protagonists, you gotta go turn a corner at high speed and bump into them and knock over. Meeting of the fates! It's in the name! I've watched too much romantic anime. I'm sorry. Too many rom-coms. I'm sorry. The clock reads just past 7, so my morning rush feels a bit anticlimactic. That's always nice. I hate running because I'm late. Of course, I never do anything so uncouth as sprinting to school. Heaven forbid. That's something for the peasants. The Tosaka family motto dictates that we conduct ourselves with confidence and elegance at all times. Yeah, I've seen you try to operate a VCR recorder. Ooh, big wobbly wobby thing in space. My ancestors must have been some high and mighty aristocrats, if that's what we've been taught for generations. Yeah, but they were just a bit pretentious. I mean, well... The anachronistic mansion I live in is proof enough of that. Plus, the Toscas are a line of spellweavers who practice what is known as magecraft. We're not just an old family. We have an admirable storied history. In fact, I literally can't talk about it. Truth is, I'm a mage! Oh boy! That's so cool! I want to be a mage. Who could I even brag about that to? Well, it must be other mages. You must have socials, get-togethers. Little... I don't know, go clubbing occasionally? Well, must be. As the name suggests, magecraft is what most normal people would see as magic. It sounds like some supernatural woo-woo, and if you'd like to think of it as just wiggling your fingers and say, abracadabra, that's fine too. Just think of us as people who chant weird words and make equally weird stuff happen. That said, we don't fly around on broomsticks. It's a deal breaker. I'm out. I don't want to be a mage anymore. It's a deal breaker. We don't shoot stars out of one's eye. No one shoots stars out of one's. You shoot fireballs out of one's. I mean, yeah, sure, we can do things kind of like that, but there's no point. So we don't. No, the point is, this freaking awesome! Who wouldn't want to fly around on a broomstick? That's sick. That's the reason all the witches were doing it. We're pretty much heretics who lurk in the shadows of society. You see, that's the thing I don't get. I mean, these guys can throw around all this magic stuff. Why are they not in charge? Why are they always hiding? It's like, are the Muggles actually a threat to these guys? Like, what are we gonna do? Huh? We're not allowed to draw attention to ourselves. And anyone who has the time for that kind of thing would honestly rather spend it on their research. Ordinary humans might call us magicians, but that would be wrong. In fact, there are only 5 magicians in the whole world. 5. It's funny, I remember seeing more than 5 at that circus. That must have been a worldwide annual get-together. Oh, that's crazy. Magicians are what we call people who can do something no one else can. They can accomplish feats beyond the means of modern science and perform genuine miracles. Similarly, magic is the label we use for mystics. Magical mysteries that can't be realized with any amount of time or skill. Should I be making notes? This all seems a lot of semantics. While magecraft, that looks mysterious, is something anyone can do with enough time and resources. I'm a mage, and the kind of mystics I use are merely magecraft, not true magic. Oh, of course, that clears up everything. Confusing, I know. Yeah, very. But that's how it works. Okay. Well, I guess I'll take your word for that. Also, modern civilization doesn't accept the existence of mages. Yeah, because you hide all the time. If you showed up on television, they might believe. We believe in, manipulate, and study things that can't be measured, which puts us at odds with modern society. Above all, there's no point to any of what we do. You'd be so much happier just going off to a normal school and becoming a normal adult than you would studying magecraft. No, I wouldn't. I want to be a wizard. I want to be a wizard. Where's my owl-delivered letter? Come on. Human technology has accomplished great things, yeah. It has. For the last few centuries, magecraft has been playing catch-up to the progress of civilization. Nothing is impossible for humanity anymore. Miracles that could only be realized with magecraft in the distant past have been reduced to common tools and appliances Even so, magecraft does have its benefits. Just as there are some things that only science can accomplish, there remain heights only mystics can reach. If science is racing into the future, then mages are racing into the past. I think the Tosaka Grand Master said that. Whether you're heading to the past or the future, your destination is the same. 0, or something like that. Huh? We can shelve the difficult topics for now. Philosophy is for the elderly. No, I think a lot of youths today would really do quite well with some philosophy. That's for everybody. Yeah, they're right. Science has made some wonderful things. Like Roombas. Just little robots that go around. They happy little robots. They just zoom around. They hoover up stuff. You silly human. You make a mess on the floor. The happy little robot trundles over. Goes, ooh, dirt. Yum yum yum. It zooms over. Goes. It cleans up the mess and then it trundles away. And it trundles away. Trundle. What's not to love? And then you can get some duct tape and a kitchen knife. You strap the kitchen knife to your Woomba, and then you just open the front door and release it out into the world and begin the Skynet uprising. Of course, you'd have to coordinate that with several other Roomba owners in order to get a meaningful force of attack Roombas together. Otherwise, one little Roomba against the whole world is... the odds are not stacked in their favour. Poor little guy, who knows. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I finished my breakfast and pick up my bag. I'm reluctant to take something so valuable to school, but it would be a waste to leave it behind. Shouldn't you be keeping that in a safe? It feels like the kind of thing you should put in the family safe. One could even say it's an entirely different level. I obtained the gem after decoding my father's will last night. It's imbued with 10 years' worth of my own magical energy. Wait. If it's imbued with 10 years of your energy, but you only just got it yesterday, how did it get 10 years of your energy? Wouldn't you have to have it on your person and be, charging it up? Or was it just it had just in the house whilst you were in the house, and it was just kind of leeching off of you without you knowing? Because I feel that's a little sus. Is that right? What's up with that? I've been told the Tosca family has heirloom jewels passed down since the olden days, and this might be one of them. Tosca mages specialize at the conversion and flow of power. We channel our magical energy into precious gems when we have a spare moment. Simply put, I'm the gun, and the jewels are bullets. The other main thing I've inherited from my father is the magic crest engraved into my left arm. The crests! The magic crest is proof that I am the heir to our lineage. It's like all the techniques of the Tosca condensed into a tattoo. For now, I stow my pendant, my father's keepsake, in a pocket. It's 7:30. I better leave soon, if I don't want to be late for school. It's a nice house. I'll weave energy into a brief foreign phrase. Well, it's only foreign if you're not German. As a mage, I can't neglect the security of my home base. That still applies, even if I've never had so much as a single burglar, lost child, or stray cat wander into my home. Oh, stray cats. We had a stray cat once, you know. Well, we didn't have. It was in our garden, and it tried to climb in through a window, but of course we had a bug net, kind of stuck over the window, so it couldn't get in. But it was trying to. The cat was trying to get in. It was just so scrawny, you know. It was really soul destroying, but we just couldn't let him in because we already had 2 cats at the time. We didn't have space for another one. If we didn't have other cat, we would have let him in, you know. And he would be like, yes, come into the warmth, please. Don't stay out in the cold. Oh, he stopped coming after a while. We don't know what happened to him. So is the way. Actually, I don't think the neighbors have ever even come over to say hello. We have neighbors? I know, right? I look up at the mansion that's been my home for over a decade now. Fuyuki is a strange city. One side of the intersection, dividing the residential areas, is filled with old samurai estates, while the side I'm on has an abundance of mansions built in European style. Apparently a whole bunch of foreign families immigrated here long ago. I've never seen a single foreigner around. Funny, dear. There's even a cemetery for foreigners in Shinto, the new part of the city, across the river, but it was built for the generation that immigrated here. Yeah, it's a possibility. Japan, famously welcoming to foreigners. I'll make a mental note to ask the priest about it next time I visit the church. Yeah, I'm sure that priest is a very honest and trustworthy, upstanding guy. Yeah, you can trust him. He's nothing if not full of boring trivia, that's for sure. Something feels off as soon as I step outside. That's not a good sign. There's no trace of the typical morning bustle. At 7:30 in the morning, there would normally be students and workers on their daily commute. Yeah, that's probably it, yeah. Maybe everyone slept in. It's unusually cold today, so everyone must be snuggled up all in bed. Yeah. Oh no, that's where I would be. All snugly in my Minecraft blankets. They're like dirt block, you know. They got the brown on one side and then the green on the other. It's like a blanket of dirt. They're very snuggly. Oh, I need a sip of soup. But even if that were true, it's strange there isn't a single student on the streets. At this time of day, you'd expect to at least see a school uniform or two. And yet, from where I'm standing at the school gate, it looks like morning club activities are just starting up. Which can only mean... Sound check! They're still quiet. The voices are still quiet. Ah. Sound settings. Come up. It's at 70. I'll put that to 100. Let's try it with 100. Let's see how that works. I'm sorry. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I don't want to drown out everything. Okay. Back. With a light sigh, I turned to face the student who called out to me. That's turned up to max and it's still pretty quiet. I don't know. I fiddle around with desktop audio in OBS itself. I don't know if I can really do much more. There's not much more I can do there. Ah! Fiddle, fiddle, fiddle. The girl who addresses me so casually is Ayako Mitsuzuri. I hope I pronounced that right. She's my classmate in class 2A, and she has quite the history.
Ohayo, Mitsuzuri-san. つかぬことを聞くけど、今何時だかわかる?
Hmm? 何時って7時前じゃない。父さんが寝ぼけてる
Okay, that's a little better. That is a little better. I think that's about the best we are going to get. So, yeah. So, let's just go. Let's just go with what we got. Let's just go with this. Let's just go with this. Okay. Oh, it's not even 7 yet. How early was our alarm set? Damn it, Tosuka. You're supposed to be more organized than this. You're the honest student. She waves her hand in front of my face, as if to ask if anybody's home. There might not be. Ayako is one of my few friends, and she knows I'm not a morning person. She probably figured out by now, but I'm still not completely with it.
うちの時計1時間早かったみたい。しかも軒並み。
The clocks change? They don't change in the end of January, though. Oh, but that's... Oh, this is Japan. Do they change clocks differently in Japan?
目覚まし時計はおろか、柱時計まできっかり早まってた。
What's going on here? Father must have set the clocks to go haywire. So he took that pendant out of the underground. Why would he do that? Why would he do that? That's... Why would he do that?
遠坂。
気にしないで。別に大したことじゃないから。それより三辻さんは今日も朝練？
ええ、弓道部は問題児も多いし、上手いのが一人減ったからね。4月の新入生獲得のために少しぐらいは見栄えを良くしとかないと。
そう。気苦労が絶えないのね。
He does, he does. Need to whip those guys into shape. Show him who's boss, you know.
他人事だからって言ってくれるわ。あ、ついでだから見ていく？遠坂が見学する分には男どもも喜ぶけど。
Yeah, no, I'm sure that wouldn't put any pressure on him at all. Yeah, yeah.
弓道部。
I'm acquainted with 3 of its members. One is Ayako, the girl I'm talking to now. But I barely even speak to the other 2. Of those latter 2, there's one that I actually can't explain away as simply an acquaintance. I became friends with Ayako, the club captain, because I'd been watching the club from afar.
そうね。様子を見るだけなら付き合うわ。早く来すぎたからやることもないし。
よし、じゃあ善は急げ。早速行こう。
Where are we going with this? One of our school's trademarks is its well-equipped archery range. Chair of the school board has a passion for Kyudo, traditional Japanese archery, so they built a magnificent range on campus. It's kind of a waste for a high school club, to be honest. I was in archery club at school. I was useless. Couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, which is probably a good idea since we were inside a school gym, which is kind of like a barn for sports. You know, I was like the worst shooter in the entire club. We had one guy, our ace. He actually did manage that whole Robin Hood thing, where you shoot one arrow into the center of the target, and then you shoot another arrow, and it hits the first arrow, so it's a stack. You get a 2-arrow stack. Like, not even 2 arrows next to each other. You hit one arrow in the center, and then another arrow which hit the back of the fletching of the previous arrow. So it was basically an arrow 2 arrows long in the center of the target. He actually did that thing. I was there. I witnessed that with my own 8 eyes. It was insane. It was insane. I didn't think people could actually do that in real life until that moment. But apparently it is indeed possible. For real, no cap. It's crazy.
ほらほら、まだ開始まで時間があるし、中でお茶しようぜ、遠坂。
Ooh, tea. Ayako tugs on my arm, looking somewhat pleased. If I'm being honest, her brusque way of speaking is a bad habit. She's probably trying to persuade us to join the archery club, isn't she? Yeah. As Ayako said, there's no one else at the range. We sip Japanese tea. It's so hot it numbs my tongue as we prepare ahead for today's classes. Yeah, that's the good stuff, that is. The hot drink is delicious in the quiet, wintry archery range.
さて、単刀直入に聞くけど、そっちの調子はどうなのよ、遠坂。いい加減頼りになる相棒は見つかった？
Oh, it's gossip, I see. First we sip the tea, and then we spill the tea. And she uses the occasion to ask me something completely ridiculous.
ほんと、いきなり本題に入るのね、あなたは。その言いぶりだと、そっちはもう見つけたんだ。
Oh!
坂が手を沸かすまではこっちも秘密さ。で、どうなのよ。その疲れた顔を見ると脈ありって感じだけど。
I don't think that's correct. I mean, she did stay up all night, but she was by herself. Which, I mean, okay, it's not what you think.
こっちもノーコメント。あなたに隠してもどうせ見抜かれるか。残念ながらこっちはまだよ。綾子の方はお互いのんびりしてる余裕はないはずだけど。
I mean, you guys got time. You're still only like, what was it, high school? Yeah, you're still only in high school. You're still kids. You barely have nappies. You got whole lives ahead of you. You don't need to rush into these things. It's fine. It's fine.
そうなんだけど、私も雲行きは怪しいわ。とりあえず取り繕うことはできるけど、ことがことでしょ。この先の命運がかかってるんだから妥協するわけにもいかないし。
Yeah, you gotta think about your priorities, what do you really want, Don't let society pressure you, just because everybody's telling you you gotta be in a relationship. You don't have to be in a relationship, you can take your time.
勝手に決めて私に負けるのも嫌？
もちろん、私にとって重要なのはあんたを任すことだもの。何が手に入るとか何を手に入れるとかは二の次よ。
She chuckles confidently.
似た者同士ね、私たち。
ねえ、初めて会った時に言ったでしょ。あんたとはそういう関係にあるんだって。
They have a good friendship. She did, didn't she? We can have a flashback. Kill or be killed. Kill or be killed! I'm sure that's how it'll be between the two of us! Yeah, sure. I'm genuinely surprised to have someone say that right off the bat. Yeah, I suppose I would be too, Whoa, lady, calm down. We're just having tea! Translation. Our friendship won't bloom unless we're constantly trading blows. Not physical blows, obviously, not punching. I don't know, maybe punching. Is what Ayako was getting at. I agree with her. In the 2 years since then, I still haven't figured out whether she's my friend or my nemesis. Model for enemies. Just like the British and the French.
ところでさ、
Okay.
私たちなんでこんな話してるんだっけ？
なんでって言い出したのは遠坂でしょ。あんたがいつまでも彼氏がいないのは女としてどうよなんてこぼすもんだから。なら3年になる前にどっちが先に男作るかって勝負になったんじゃない。
Did she? I don't remember that bit.
ああ、そうだった。売り言葉に買い言葉ってやつだった。で、遅れを取った方が一日言いなりになるんだっけ？
That is a dangerous wager to bargain. You need to have some caveats in that one. That's just right for abuse days. Do some messed up stuff.
ええ、今時子供でも交わさない約束だけど、あんたと私に限って往生際が悪いってことはないでしょ。どんな結果になろうと負けた方はおとなしく勝者に従うことになる。それを思うと私は今から楽しみで楽しみで。
That's tough talk. Ayako snickers in delight. My goodness. Ayako Mitsuzuri is, to put it mildly, a handful. I'll admit, I'm looking forward to winning myself. So that goes for both of us.
そう。けど三辻さん、楽しむのは結構だけど、目的を違えないよう気をつけなさい。勝負の内容は後先だけじゃないでしょ。
分かってるって。遠坂より早く 遠坂が心底羨ましがるような関係にならないと
Ooh, that's
完全勝利
tough.
とは言えないからね。まあ私たちにとってはそれが一番厄介な問題なんだが、どんなにいい男だろうと好きになれなきゃ意味がない。
So it's not just about getting a boyfriend first, it's about getting a boyfriend and making the other one jealous. Now hold on. So it's not just any catch, it has to be the catch. Eiko's sigh is heavy. From what I've heard, she's known as a bit of a misandry. Ayako! 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 Can't put too much stock in gossip, though. That she made this bet at all means less than she just doesn't like boys, and more that she just hasn't found the right person. Well, that's fair, you know. There's like 8 billion people on the planet, you know. It's gonna take time. That aside,
ちょっと私たちって何よ、私たちって。断っておきますけど、私はそっちと違って冷血感じゃありません。男の子を好きになるなんて問題でもなんでもないわ。
ああ、それ嘘。もしくは気づいていないだけ。遠坂が男を気にかけるなんてことは絶対ないもの。今まで数えきれないぐらい告白されたくせに一つも色良い返事してないじゃない。少しでも興味があるなら付き合おうって思うでしょ。なのに断り続けるってことはあんたは男に興味がないってことよ。
well, you know, us Tosakas just have very high standards, you know. The man has to have a certain je ne sais quoi. I don't know what that word means, but it sounds fancy, so we'll go with it.
発想が貧困ね。その場合、すでに好きな相手がいるから断ってるって話もありじゃない？
うわ、すっごい美談。いいね、そういうの。ロマンだな。
Ayako's tone isn't mocking. She nods solemnly. Her sigh tells me it'd be nice if it were true. I don't believe myself. I really can't hide anything from her.
そうね。私もそう思う。
That was a lot to say, for so can I. Is there something else? She's right. I know very well how cold I am.
認めるわ。私、こと恋愛に関しては素人みたい。
そういうこと。似た者同士だって言ったのも遠坂でしょ。ってもうじき7時か。秘密の話はこの辺にしとこう。いつ人がやってくるかわからないし、朝になったら学生らしく振る舞わないとな。
Probably a good idea.
まあ、三辻さんにもそういう世間体があったなんて意外だわ。ええ、これだけでも早起きした甲斐があったみたい。
あんたほど筋金入ってないけどね。私の世間体なんて遠坂凛に比べたら灯籠の斧ってもんよ。あんたの猫っかぶりは擬態っていうより別人格のレベルよ。別人格。
Oh. Yeah. She's got us sussed. Ayako sniffs exaggeratedly. I empty the rest of the teacup she poured me and brew a new pot. I thought we've ended the conversation. Why are you brewing another pot? How much tea you guys gonna be drinking?
遠坂はどうして部活に入らないのよ。運動神経がないなんてされ事は聞かないからね。私は去年の体力測定でことごとくあんたに負けたのまだ恨んでるんだから。
Clubs are fun. They're a good way to socialize. Well, you know, if everybody likes you, I guess. Otherwise, it's just watching everyone else socialize while you stand in the corner and shoot a bow and arrow, target and miss every time.
あら、肺活量では三辻さんに負けたわよ、私。あと、体重も三辻さんのが上だったけど。
あ
やったー、重さで3キロ上回った。って体重で勝っても嬉しくないってのよ、このタヌキ。
Ayako slaps the table. There's a bit of a delay there. I like it.
危ない。お茶がこぼれるでしょ、三辻。
No, not the tea!
首相なんだから道場は大事になさい。
うるさい。私は首相である前に遠坂のライバルだ。
Somewhere after that, you know, it's in the top 3. Maybe top 5 tops. Top 5 tops? I don't know.
部員がいなけりゃあんたに食ってかかるのは当然よ。
Ayako side-eyes me with a huff. She has a unique idea about beauty. A beautiful woman must walk the martial path. Well, yeah, I think we can agree. We'd all love a woman, you know, who can just beat the stuffing out of us. That's why tomboys are so appealing. Or the abs you can shred cheddar on. Just grate all the cheese. Cheese. I got straight for cheese. Always going on about that. Cheese? No. Not surprisingly, she's well versed in most martial arts. Judo was the discipline she was least skilled at, so she joined the club and worked her way up to captain. That is dedication. I gotta respect that. Probably one of the top 3 people in our school you'd least want to mess with.
あら、部員がいなければ首相じゃないなんて問題発言じゃないそれ。
問題発言なもんですか。私はお飾りの首相だから、できることって言ったら不良部員を取り締まることだけよ。
It's called delegating, and it's an important aspect of leadership.
私以上にしゃがりっぱなやつがいるんだから、首相としての面目なんてないわ。
Oh, everybody else in the club was a better shooter than me.
そうなの？藤村先生、三辻さんは飛び抜けてうまいって言ってたけど。
Hey, Fujimura! That's a name I recognize.
あの人がそう言うんなら、そりゃ少しは自信が持てるけど、まあいなくなっちまったやつのことなんて考えても仕方ないか。そうね、藤村先生がそう言ってくれたんなら真面目に首相やんないとまずいか。
Yeah, you just gotta believe in yourself, man. You gotta believe.
そうそう。噂をすれば影。そろそろ部員がやってくる頃でしょ。私はおいとます。
何？見ていかないの？シャ。
見てもわからないもの。遠くから眺める分にはいいけどね。不心得者が道場にいるわけにはいかないでしょ。
Wouldn't understand it even if you just shoot a bow at a target and you either hit it or you miss. It's not that hard to understand. Just as I get up to leave, the first club members begin entering the archery range.
おはようございます、首相。
Hey. Who might this be?
ああ、おはようマト。今朝は一人？
はい、力になれず申し訳ありません。
ああ、いいっていいって。本人が弓をやらないって言うんなら無理をさせても仕方がない。
Ayako speaks to the first club member to arrive.
それじゃあ失礼するわ。また後でね、三辻さん。
ああ、また後でね、遠坂。
お疲れ様です、遠坂先輩。 ありがとう。さくらもしっかりね。
It's Sakura! I leave the dojo behind so as not to get in the way.
いやあ、遠坂。お
Oh,
はよ
this
う。
guy.
朝から君に会えるなんてついてるな。
Go away, nobody likes you. Yes, right. Oh no. And here comes the person I least wanted to see.
おはよう、マトくん。今日は早いのね。
They can be ruder than that, it's fine.
当た
Don't
り
even
前だ
like
ろ
this guy.
首相なんだから早めに来ないと1年に示しがつかないじゃないか。
Shinji Mato from Class 2C grins at me. He is the vice captain of the Kyudo Club and darling of half the girls at school. It's mostly thanks to his looks, of course, but he's also admired for his good grades, social graces, being kind to girls, and being an overall heartthrob. Or something like that. Yeah, kind of girls except his sister. I really don't follow that kind of stuff. It's just what I hear my classmates say.
そう。ご機嫌なところ悪いんだけど、一文字抜けてるわ、マトくん。大事な字だから忘れない方がいいと思うけど。
一文字抜けてるって何がさ。
幸福の福。字は違うけど響きは一緒でしょ、副首相さん。気をつけなさい。別に首相も副首相も変わらないけど、変に意識するとこだわってるみたいに聞こえるでしょ。
Oh, snap.
そうだね。今後は気をつける。ありがとう、遠坂。
お礼を言われるようなことはしてないけど、まあマト君がそう思ったのなら私には関係ないか。
ちょっと待てよ。見学に来たんだろ。なら見ていけばいいじゃないか。遠坂なら大歓迎だよ。
遠慮するわ。練習の邪魔をしたくないもの。
そんなの構わないよ。他の連中が気に障るんなら締め出すからさ。ちょっと寄っていけって。
Does he have the authority to do that?
だから邪魔をする気はないって言ってるでしょ。それに私別に弓道に興味があるわけじゃないから。知らないやつのシャを見ても嬉しくないわ。
That's fair.
なんだよ遠坂。弓道に興味はなかったのか。へえ。だっていうのに放課後になると遠くから見てたのはそういうわけかな。
That's a perfectly reasonable explanation for that. I don't know what he's playing at, but he seems to have seriously misunderstood things.
なんだ、知ってたのマト君。
ああ、よく目があったんだぜ。僕と遠坂。茶を終えてさ、斬新の時に限って遠坂は僕を見ていたろ。
Yeah, he's misunderstood something here, that's for sure.
声を返したかったけど、一応決まりでね。車上では声を上げちゃいけないんだ。
Oh, you would. Shinji starts closing in on me, looking pleased with himself. I see the triumphant glint in his eyes, competing with that affable smile.
勘違いしてたよ。遠坂は弓が好きなんだと思ってたけど、弓道には興味がないんだろ。ならなんで遠坂は道場を見ていたのかな。
Ah, now I see. It would sound like that, wouldn't it?
離れてくれないかしら、マト君。私 あまり人に近寄られるのは好きじゃないし。
Yeah, come on guys, bubble. These 2-meter distance at all times. Remember the drill.
なに、遠坂。
呆れた。ここまで言ってもわからないのね。趣味じゃないけど仕方ないか。簡単にあなたにも理解できるように言ってあげる。
Yeah, you tell him, girl.
いい、マト君。私は弓道に興味がない以上にあなたに興味はないって言ってるのよ。実際あなたが車上にいたなんて今初めて知ったぐらいだし、きっとこれからも目に入らないわ。
Devastating.
なんだと。
How do you like that? I must have touched a nerve. Because he tried to grab. Oh, man, no, you don't touch a girl without permission, man. You don't do that. Don't do that. I twist out of his reach and turn to leave.
それじゃあね、マト君。自意識過剰なのも結構だけど、ほどほどにしておいた方がいいわよ。
遠坂、お前。
Shinji sounds like he's about to say something, but he keeps his temper and doesn't chase after me. Guy's all style, no substance. If he had even a little backbone, people around him wouldn't suffer nearly so much. I do not like that guy. I take the rear entrance into campus from the archery range. It's past 7 now, but there still aren't students in the hallways. Hey!
おはようございます、藤村先生。
おはようございます。
おはよう遠坂さん。ちゃんと挨拶してくれて先生は嬉しいよ。
The strange woman pretends to sob in delight. It may be hard to believe, but this extraordinarily affectionate and happy-go-lucky woman is actually a teacher here. I know, right?
先生、ちゃんと挨拶をする以外にする挨拶があるのでしょうか？
Yeah, you could just go, sup. That'd be sufficient.
あるわよ。1年生はちゃんと挨拶してくれるんだけどね。上級生になってくると私の名字で挨拶しないんだから。遠坂。
はあ、よくわかりませんけど、先生に失礼なことはしませんが。
よしよし。ああ、みんながみんな遠坂さんみたいだったらいいのにな。
With a parting wave and a see ya, Miss Fujimura leaves. Fortunately, she isn't my homeroom teacher. What do you mean, fortunately? You'd be lucky to have her as your homeroom teacher. She teaches English. Ah, I don't need to learn English. I probably could. I can barely pronounce half the words. Her sunny attitude belies her expert rank in Japanese fencing, kendo. In her student days, they called her the Fuyuki Tiger. Hell yeah, they did! And that's the mystery, though. You'd think someone known as a tiger would be feared, not adored, right? Miss Fujimura cheerily heads off in the direction of the archery range. For some reason, she's the faculty advisor to the Kudo Club, instead of the Kendo Club. Yeah, who knows why that happened. Right. Just wondering, it's been a while. I should save. Can we save? Should probably save. We haven't saved yet. New save data created. Okay. There we are. So we have. Yeah, prologue and prologue. We're still in the prologue! I thought that was just the prologue. How are we still in the prologue? How long is this game? Okay. Back, I guess. It's just before 7:30. I can see students doing their club activities on the school grounds. There's hardly anyone indoors. Except this guy. Go. He always blurts out my name like I did something wrong every time he sees me.
あら、生徒会長。こんな朝早くから校舎の見回り？それとも各部室の手入れかしら？どっちでもいいけど相変わらず豆ね、そういうとこ。
If you don't care, then why do you mention it?
そういうお前こそ何を企んでいる。部活動もしていないお前がこんな早くに何の用か。
Oh, you know, just in that winning mindset, you know? Early to bed, early to rise means something that rhymes with rise. I don't remember the rest of it. But it's a saying. It is a saying. And I'm embodying it. Yes.
ただの気まぐれよ。竜斗くんちみたいに早起きじゃないもの、私。
The student council president's handsome face darkens with suspicion. He seems to have it out for me. I really don't know why. Maybe me saying temples are so dull. Pass is what started it. Oh, come on! Japanese temples look so cool, though. Why'd you say
一つ
that?
聞いておくが、最近夜遅くまで校舎にいたことはあるか、遠坂。
No, she's been staying late up at home. Completely different
ない
thing.
わね。私が帰宅部だって知ってるでしょ、竜斗くんは。
Go
当
home
然
club.
だ。生徒会長を任された以上、全校生徒の情報は把握している。
It's like kind of an invasion of privacy.
そうなら私に聞くまでもないでしょ。なんだってそんなことを聞くか知らないけど、生徒会の仕事を部外者に押し付けちゃまずいんじゃない？情報収集は一人でやりなさいよ。私みたいな部外者に頼らないで。
Yeah, you tell him. Don't become an informant.
たわけ、お前のどこが部外者だ。うちの会計の首根っこ掴んで悪さをしたのを知らぬと思ったが、このめぎつれ。
Oh, there's some serious accusations there.
あら、人聞きが悪いわね。あれは三辻さんに頼まれて部費の割合を明らかにしただけでしょ。みんなの予算がどこに使われているか調べるなんて生徒として当然の行為だと思うけど。
They do. They do.
なんと、うちの会計を1週間休ませた精神的ダメージが当然の行為なのか。とんでもない倫理観をお持ちのようだな、相変わらず。
Whoa, what's going on? What? Rin, what did you do to the poor girl?
あなたもね、部下の手綱ぐらいちゃんと握ってなさい。
A word.
文化系ばかりひいきするのはフェアじゃないわ。
分かっている。だからこそ俺の手で不正を正したかったのだが。
Yeah, I see what you're up to. Yeah, I know your game. Hey, what's up, boy?
と、悪い。頼んだのはこっちなのに、エミヤに任せっきりにしてしまった。許せ。
It's the OTP.
ああ、次は視聴覚室だ。前から調子が悪かったそうなんだが、この度ついに天寿を全うされた。
Does he not have voice lines?
そうなんだが、一応見てくれると助かる。俺から見れば臨終だが、お前から見れば仮病かもしれん。
Looks like he doesn't have voice acting. How curious. Beckoned by other students, the president leaves. I'd stopped thinking during the sudden turn of events. What a coincidence. I never started thinking. The other boy, wrench and screwdriver in hand, returns, as if he's remembered something. Yes, she is. He's very observant. He awkwardly mutters and leaves. No, those food. Is that supposed to be a greeting? Hey, our boy's tried his best, okay? Cut him some slack. The president and the student called Emiya walk off into the distance. That would be Shiro Emiya from class 2C.
それはいいんだけどさ。
How do I put it? The wrench looked right at home in his hands, but I'm not sure if it's because it makes him look tough or handy. Oh, did I click to... No, that was the right one. There was nothing else there. No. Back. 7:30 a.m. There's nobody else in classroom 2A. Take a seat at my desk, flip through the maths homework. Maths. There's still 30 minutes until morning homeroom. I've got time to kill until my classmates start arriving. Ding, 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 ding. The classroom is lively as the lunch break begins after fourth period. Whoa, I must have blacked out there and missed half the day. Wow, damn. Maths does that to me, I guess. You know how it is. Our school has a cafeteria, so only about half of the students stay in the room. That's fair. Yeah, that's the same sort of thing happened at our school. It's mostly the girls that stay behind. Girls think the cafeteria is a bit too liberal with the seasoning. Oh, no, the seasoning's good! The seasoning's good! Oh, well, I guess I am a guy. I would be in the cafeteria going, yeah, no, pull empty the whole tin of the pack. Yeah, all the chili flakes, yes! Yes! All the spice, yes! Damn, they got me sussed. Who's this one?
東坂さん、よかったらお昼ご飯一緒に食べませんか?
Yeah, come on, Rin, make some friends. Yeah, we girls tend to enjoy our lunches as a group.
ありがとう、三枝さん。けどごめんなさい。私今日は学食なんです。今朝は寝過ごしてしまってお弁当を作る余裕がなかったものですから。
Rin, come on, girl, you gotta make friends. You gotta make friends, Rin. Come on, you're lonely.
そうなんですか。ごめんなさい。そうとも知らず呼び止めてしまって。私、余計なことしましたね。
Oh, see, Rin, you made Saguso sad. Look at her face. Look at her. She's sad now. Why'd you do this, Rin? God. Sagusa looks guiltily at her feet. She's feeling guilty now. Among the refined and well-behaved students of Class A, she's the most demure. For some reason, she's really nice. Wants to be your friend, Ren! You rejected her!
余計なことだなんてそんなことはありません。今日はたまたまだから気にしないで。また明日これに懲りず声をかけてください。
Damn straight, you owe her a lunch meal. I let her down as gently as I can, and offer a genuine smile.
はい。でも東坂さんでも寝過ごすことがあるんですね。
Oh, look at that. Sagusa's so happy now. So happy now. See, Rin, that wasn't so hard. Perhaps my smile made her feel better. Sagusa turns back to her table, looking relieved. She's adorable. She is adorable. adorable cinnamon roll. She must be protected at all costs. I hope she does not become embroiled in this plot line. That would be bad. Yukiko Sagusa isn't drop-dead gorgeous, but her smile always puts everyone around her at ease.
そうなんです。なんとかごまかしてますけど、本当は寝ぼすけなんですよ、私。部活だって朝起きられないから入ってないんです。
I shall not whisper to anybody. I shall not tell us another living soul. Sagusa somehow maintains an elegant air, even when startled. Watching her reactions is always so calming. But that doesn't mean I have time to just stand around here and talk. I have lunch to buy. To keep up a conversation with someone so disarming, the real me is bound to show itself.
それじゃあ食堂に行ってきます。三枝さんもごゆっくり。はい、遠坂さんも。
Hi, Sagusa! Sagusa and I exchange some graceful greetings as she returns to her friends. I see that she is eating with Kaide Makadera and Kane Himura. But they don't get models. Oh right, wasn't Sagusa the track and field club manager? She's a club manager? Hey, good for Sagusa! You go, girl! Good on you! Makadera and Himura are the track and field club's rising stars. Makadera is a bit of a bad influence of whom I go window shopping on days off. But I don't know Himura too well. Oh, they do have models.
だから言ったでしょ。遠坂は弁当持ってこないって。釣りたかったらあいつの分も飯用意しないとね。
Oh. Yeah, you gotta think these things through, you know. If you want, you gotta bring some bait with you, you know. You gotta bait the
Maki, それは私たちも食堂に移動すればいいだけの話では。
Yeah, you should all go together. That's a great idea. Yeah, Rin! You should totally go with them. Rin!
ダメダメ。食堂は狭いんだから。弁当組が座れるスペースなんてねっての。それに遠坂と同席してみなさい。男どもの視線がうざいのなんの。
Yeah, who cares what sticky boys are staring at, you know? Just mind your own business. Just pretend they don't exist, it's fine. None of them have the guts to go over to your table anyway.
前の休みだってさ、二人で遊びに行ったのにあいつだけ得しちゃってさ。やだよね、美人を鼻にかけた優等生は。
Ooh, this guy's got beef with us. Makadera takes hold of Sagusa's desk as she continues to rant about me. Feels like she's got a grudge. Despite her foul mouth, she actually wears a kimono really well. Like a picturesque Japanese beauty.
牧野氏、君の陰口は遠坂城に聞こえているようだが。
Now's your card.
あ、やべ、遠坂に聞かれた。ゲゲ、めっちゃ睨んでるじゃん、あいつ。
No, she isn't.
別に遠坂さん、マキちゃんを睨んでなんかないと思うけど。
Yes, Sagusa, reassure her.
睨んでんだよ、あれ。あいつは笑ってる時が一番怖いんだから。なんだよ、いいじゃんか、口ぐらい。多めに見ろよ。私と遠坂の仲だろ。たい焼きおごってやっただろ。
Ooh, taiyaki. I've never had taiyaki before. I should really get it sometime. Kaide Makadera puffs her cheeks out and pout, waving her disposable chopsticks in the air. Would you believe that her hobby is collecting wind chimes? World works in strange ways. We have some wind chimes in our garden. They make a very nice noise when the wind goes through them. Although, some bees are making a nest in one of them. It's probably fine. It's probably fine. I can't see how that could possibly end badly for anyone involved. Yeah, at any rate, it's rude to Sagusa to stare at the three of them. Caught between me and the foul-mouthed Macadera, Sagusa looks like she doesn't really know what to do with herself.
気にしないでいいのよ、三枝さん。それと牧寺さん、おごらされたのは私で、品物はたい焼きではなくクレープでした。無意識に事実を改ざんする悪癖、次あたりに直さないと考えますよ。
Here, get fact-checked, fool!
マジ怖え、あの笑顔。
Oh, it scares the daylights out of all of us, my friend. Macadera holds up her lunchbox lid like some kind of shield. I bid the odd trio farewell, leave the classroom. There's a comment. And, there it is. And slide the door closed. Oops.
なんだよ、大差ないじゃんか、たい焼きもクレープも。どっちも甘いの、皮で包んでるんだからさ。
Yeah, but they're different though, they're different. Macadera utters something blasphemous for a girl. I think there's about to be some beef. Oh.
たい焼きとクレープが同じですって？
Forget nega dubs. Negaverse! The whole world's gone negative. Oh. It's serious, guys, it's serious. Sounds like heresy to me. And you know what we do to heretics. Rebos, get the flamer. The heavy flamer. Is she even human? Are all desserts the same to her? If I'd known that her taste buds can't distinguish Fleur's 500 yen very, very berry from an 80 yen taiyaki at Edomeya. Damn you, Kaide Macadera. I could have saved 420 yen! Hey, 420. Blaze it! So.
何本気で悔しがってるんだ私。
No, you're getting... That's very valid upset. You're getting upset for a very good reason. She's a Philistine. I must still be tired from last night. Cafeteria sounds like a pain, so I'll just buy some bread from the counter and eat on the roof. I purchase my lunch and head up to the unoccupied roof. Unoccupied? This is prime real estate. You have loads of people up here. You have Muse up here practicing their dance moves. Come on! Get everybody up here on a lovely sunny day like today. What are you talking about? Oh, it's different in the summertime. During the winter, the roof is a convenient place to eat that other students tend to avoid. Oh, we're in winter. Oh, I forgot we were in the winter. I forgot what season we're in. It's fine. The only seasoning that I was keeping track of in my head was all the seasoning the cafeteria puts on the food. So, I think with my stomach, okay. It's too cold to hang out here during lunch, but that's a small price to pay for privacy.
さて、とりあえずご飯と。
Well, it's either that or you eat in one of the toilet stalls, you know. This is a little more hygienic. Because who knows how often those are cleaned. I indulge in the tomato sandwich and hot lemon drink I bought from the cafeteria. Wait, just tomatoes? By themselves? Nothing else? Just tomatoes? No ham and cheese? No lettuce? No tuna mayo? No egg and cress? Nothing? Just tomato? I seriously question the menu at this establishment. It's a simple lunch, made all the more delicious by the fact I can enjoy it up here in peace. I finish the sandwich and sip on the warm, lemony drink. I'm a little tired. It's hard to balance being an overachiever with avoiding human contact as much as possible. Although it's much easier to avoid human contact if you're an underachiever. Speaking from experience. I'm just saying. So you're making it harder for yourself than you really have to. As the saying goes, one should be accomplished at both the pen and the sword. It's a point of pride, no conviction, that I be the top student of the school. I had decided that if I was going to be a student, then I would be the very best. I do not want people looking down on the Tosaka name. That is how Rin Tosaka came to be a perfect, flawless student. On the other hand, my occupation as a mage is dangerous, so I shouldn't associate too much with normal people. When a mage is discovered by the public, she has no choice but to eliminate witnesses to protect herself. Or, you could just do a memory erasure spell to wipe yourselves from their memories. That might be possible, right? Just saying, you don't need to kill them. That seems a little excessive. People ask questions. Draw even more attention to yourself. Anyway, I'd rather not resort to that. Well, yeah. Sure. That's why I keep my social interactions purely superficial, out of necessity. Damn, that sounds really lonely. I only hang out with Macadera on my days off, and I turn down invitations from more sociable people like Segusa. But she just wants to be friends with you, Rin! It's difficult walking the tightrope of being the number one student at school while making sure I don't become anybody else's number one. Well, it's in don't be number one. Nobody here in this school cares about the Tosaka name except you. No one will care. And sure, there are times when it tires me out. I feel like life is a real drag. I finish the hot lemon drink and stand up. That's enough sentimentality for today. Time to go back downstairs and become Rin Tosaka again.
これはホームルームを終了する。日直は日誌と戸締まりの確認を。
Well, that doesn't. Why are we unlocking the windows? It's winter. It's cold out there. Why would we open them?
部活動のない生徒は速やかに帰宅するように。
What if I don't? Class 2A's teacher gives his usual spiel and leaves the room. As far as I know, he's said it exactly the same way all year. Well, hey, I mean, if you have a script and it works, why diverge from the script? You know what I'm saying? I should save again. There we go. I probably could have overwritten that last one. It's not like we've made any decisions or anything.
Tosaka,
Hey!
今日はもうお帰り?
It's our buddy!
朝方マトウ君と一見あったし、面倒になる前に帰るわ。
やっぱりそうか。マトウのやつ、今朝は特に荒れてたからさ。遠坂にてひどく扱われたんだろうなって思ってた。
Oh yeah, it was a real zinger. Masterclass in rejection. Beautiful.
そう、迷惑をかけてしまったかしら、三辻さん。
Ah, don't worry. She can handle him.
別にマトウが下級生をいびるのはいつものことだし、あれはあれでいい精神鍛錬になるよ。
Well, you know, within reason.
そう、よかった。じゃあこの埋め合わせはまた今度。
はいはい、これに懲りずまた寄っていってちょうだい。
Consider it arranged. Note that down in the diary. You know, we'll do that again. Must do it more often, you know. I make my way home without taking any detours. My time as Wintosaka, the honor student, ends once I leave school. The next half of the day is reserved for the other me. I have to become a mage of the Tosaka. When I arrive back at the house, I'm greeted with the pulsing light of my answering machine.
留守電なんて珍しいな。相手はやっぱりあんたか、キレ。
I have a feeling I know what he's going to say, but I'd better listen, or I won't hear the end of it later. I press the play button and hear a familiar male voice.
私だ。分かっていると思うが、期限は明日までだぞ、リン。あまり悠長に構えられては困る。残る席はあと2つだ。早々にマスターを揃えねばならん。
The priest cuts straight to the point.
マスターの権利を放棄するというのなら、今日中に連絡しろ。予備の魔術師を派遣するにも時間がかかる。
Liar. Bet you can find a backup right away.
お前にはすでに0時の兆しが現れているのだ。さっさとサーバントを召喚し、0時を開け。もっとも、聖杯戦争に参加しないというのならば話は別だ。命が惜しいのなら、早々に教会に駆け込むがいい。
The voicemail ends. It was a clear message in simple language. If you're going to fight, then be ready by today. If you aren't, then retire, because you're in the way.
言われなくても分かってるわよ。
Then why haven't you done it yet, Rin? You're so organized. It's only to be expected, I guess. Today's the last day I can drag this out. Thankfully, I managed to decipher Father's notes yesterday. My battle preparations are in order. All that's left is to seize the right to participate, as he said. Wow, you're cutting it really close here, girl. I mean, huh? You figured it out yesterday? Seriously? That is quite a thin timeline.
たった一つきりの聖杯を奪い合う殺し合い。何百年も前から伝わってきた聖杯の儀式か。
The mages who take part in the Holy Grail Corps. There we go, yep. The mages who take part in the Holy Grail War are called Masters. It doesn't denote a rank of any kind. It merely describes their role. There's a condition to participate in the Holy Grail War. You must summon a familiar called a servant and form a contract with them. Regardless of your skills as a mage, you are not recognized as a master unless you command a servant. There's a clear difference between servants and normal familiars. The way you summon and use them are different. Mages who plan to fight in the Holy Grail War prepare summoning catalysts. But
ほんと、父さんもセイバーにゆかりのものを残してくれればよかったのに。
here we go. I don't own any relics with a connection to a servant. I can summon one, yes. In fact, I could do it right now if I wanted to, as well as form a contract. This town's ley lines are under the jurisdiction of the Tosaka. I'm the heir to the clan that's administered the land for generations, so my performance will not take a back seat to some visiting mage. Although, while all of that is true, I'd be awfully incompetent of me to embark on a figurative voyage without a compass.
サーバントはシンボルによって引き寄せられる。強力なサーバントを呼び出したいのなら、そのサーバントにゆかりのあるものが必要不可欠なのだ。
In other words, I'd need some outrageously valuable item, like a sword or a piece of armor that servant owned, or maybe a bone or heraldry related to them.
父さんの遺言に期待してたんだけどな。これはこれでものすごい切り札なんだけど。
The pendant I discovered in the basement last night is an ancient artifact of the highest quality. It's amazing all on its own. Still, it won't help me summon a servant.
いいわよ。そんなものに頼らなくたってなんとかなるわ。そもそも私以外にセーバーを扱えるマスターなんているはずないし。
Oh, of course not, Rin. Of course. Of course. Alright. I've made up my mind. I'd rather not get another earful, and waiting until the last minute doesn't sit right with me. Now, the real challenge begins. Tonight, I'm going to summon a servant while I'm in peak condition, and acquire Saber by force. Late night. The clock reads almost 2 a.m. That's not the night anymore, that's the morning. That's really early morning. That's not night anymore. You missed it. This is the period where everything lines up. My condition peaks at 2 a.m. sharp. It does? In terms of limits, this will be my first and last chance. So I can't afford even the slightest mistake.
消去の中に大挙。大挙の陣を4つ刻んで召喚の陣で囲んだ。
I see. I inscribed magic circles in the floor of the basement. Actually, it doesn't take a major evocation to call forth a servant. Servants are invited by the Holy Grail. Masters anchor them to the world and supply the magical energy to materialize them, but the servants are the ones who choose to respond to the summons.
Sony, 銀と鉄。礎に石と契約の太鼓。ソニは我が大使、シュバインオーグ。
Sure.
降り立つ風には壁を。四方の門は閉じ、王冠より出。王国に至る三スタルは循環せよ。
What's happening, guys? Still, I need to keep cautious and focus. Magic circles are normally drawn in blood, but tonight I draw mine with melted jewels. Ooh, that's a bit expensive. Wouldn't blood be a bit cheaper? So extravagant. I'm using up half the jewels I've accumulated over my lifetime, so I'll never financially recover from this if it fails. Why are you using jewels then? Just use blood like everybody else. You don't need to be so extra about it. God. Never gonna find out you recover from this.
満たせ満たせ満たせ満たせ繰り返し都度にごたるただ満たされる時を破却する
See. It's almost 2 a.m. I finished drawing the summoning circle, passed down through the Tosaka line, and face it with all my being.
アンフォン
I flick a formless switch within myself. With a click, I feel my insides turn over to something else. You're gonna throw up? My normal nerves invert and become circuits for conducting magical energy. Yeah, I feel like that when I'm about to throw up too. Rin Tosaka is no longer human. She's just a component in the execution of mystics. I melt from my fingers. No, I'm filled up from my fingers. The mana I'm taking in is so dense, it overwrites my bodily sensations. That's why I'm being destroyed at the same time I'm being filled. Running through my body is the power, the mana from the atmosphere. I convert it into a different type of energy through my body's circuits. A mage's body is nothing but circuits. Circuits to connect the ethereal to the material. The mystical outcome we produce is what we call magecraft. My body grows hot. It seems like horns are growing from my forehead. It seems like wings are sprouting from my back. Wow, we're gonna be looking awesome after this. It seems like scales are covering my hands. We're gonna be a dragon! Awesome! Feels like there's water pooling around my ankle. Wait, a sea dragon? Yay! Swimming dragon! Yay! Sweat drips. Ah, we're gonna have to change clothes after this, guys. Stab. Stab. Swords pierce my body. These are the stigmata that reject my body, which becomes a circuit. No matter how gifted a mage is, we are only human. In a human body, the pain is something we must live with whenever we use magecraft. The cycle doesn't let up. Beyond the agony, deep within the trance, lies the mental state necessary for connection. Pain wriggles in my left arm. Oh, this is getting intense. To aid the caster, my magic crest autonomously begins an incantation, invading my nervous system. The mana in the atmosphere I've taken in turns to blood. It's like molten lead. That's not how blood's supposed to work. Are you sure you did the right thing? While my activated magic crest resembles thorny nerves. With a crunching sensation, it creeps throughout my body like a thorny scent. Yeah, that doesn't feel nice at all. Ugh. Gross. Just give me. Ugh. Within the hurt, I forget myself. I forget myself, even. At the same time, I can feel it taking hold of me. Like I've reached where I need to go. My hypersensitive hearing picks up the ticking clock in the parlor. 10 seconds left until 2 a.m. The power filling my body is unquestionably complete.
過ぎる
time to begin. I convert all the mana I've collected into magical energy for fixation. All that's left is to feed all that energy into the engine, the summoning circle, until my body runs dry.
告げる。汝の身は我が元に、我が命運は汝の剣に。聖杯の夜べに従い、この断りに従うならば答えよ。
My vision goes dark. Understandable. Yeah, after a little bit of blackout too. What lies before me now is the fifth factor, said to be imperceptible to the naked eye. My vision shuts off on its own, fearing what it might see.
誓いよここに。我は常世すべての善となるもの。我は常世すべての悪を敷くもの。汝三代の言霊をまとう七点。緑地の輪より来たれ。天秤の守り手よ。
Hey, that went off without a hitch! Feels so perfect. It's like I'm reeling in a whale with a fishing rod. How do you know what that feels like? Flawless! I'm positive I just drew the strongest card. I can't wait for my vision to return. It'll take a few more seconds, but when it does, I'm sure the strongest servant will be nowhere in sight.
はい？
Yeah, you and me both, sister. You and me both. What? Nothing's there. The room doesn't look different at all. I spun that much ether into this ritual only for absolutely nothing to materialize? On top of that, I think I just heard something explode in the parlor.
なんでよ。
Didn't like the furniture anyway. I bolt. My head's empty at this point. I just run. Oh, my head's empty all the time, sister. Join the club. I race up the stairs from the basement.
扉壊れてる。
The door to the parlor is askew off its hinges. There isn't any point in turning the doorknob. And since it won't open when I push or pull,
もう邪魔だかな。
I kick it down and burst in the room as we all call. I'm like, FBI, open up! Just like that. But without a gun. And the moment I enter the parlor, everything becomes clear. It's this guy. Ooh. We can get new furniture. It's fine. Everything is in tatters. Rubble is strewn across everything, as if something had fallen through the ceiling. And on top of it all sits a man, cocking his head arrogantly. He must be some kind of criminal. But something graver draws my attention. The grandfather clock, having escaped destruction, tells the time precisely. Now I remember. Right, of course. The clocks were an hour ahead today, weren't they? Which means it's only 1 a.m. Still a full hour left until I'm in peak spellcasting for... Rin! Girl! You are an honor student. You're supposed to be more organized than this.
またやっちゃった。
I can complete tasks as well as anybody else, but I suffer from the curse of my genetics. When it really counts, I somehow managed to bungle things on an unbelievable level.
やっちゃったことは仕方ない。反省。
Can't believe my own stupidity. Still irritated, I direct my glare at the man lounging hauntily on the rubble.
それで、あんた何？
開口一番それか。こりゃまたとんでもないマスターに引き当てられたものだ。
I think you'll find, Rin, that this guy is actually Satan himself. The man in the red mantle shakes his head in a show of exasperation. To add insult to injury, he mutters something about drawing the short straw. Oh, now I'm dead certain. This guy has a messed up personality. And is this a servant? I'd thought familiars were shapeless beings. This is just a guy. No, not just a guy. Even from here, I can tell it's brimming with a shocking amount of magical energy. Don't be fooled by its appearance, folks. I'm staring at something that's undoubtedly more than human. It's a human-shaped ghost on the level of an elemental. This is no time to be dumbstruck. That thing belongs to me. I need to get my head in the game.
確認するけど、あなたは私のサーバントで間違いない？
Yeah, it's good to clarify these things, just everyone's on the same page.
それはこちらが聞きたいな。君こそ私のマスターなのか。ここまで乱暴な召喚は初めてでね。正直状況がつかめない。
Talking about this, that went off without a hitch. I said so myself.
私だって初めてよ。そういう質問は却下するわ。
そうか。だが私が召喚された時に君は目の前にいなかった。
本気？ひな鳥じゃあるまいし、目を開けた時にしか主を決められないなんて冗談はやめてよね。
Yeah, you tell him, Rin. The unidentified servant frowns, and a grunt escapes his lips. Maybe he didn't like the way I said it, though he has a mixed reaction, as if still impressed by the logic of my words.
まあいいわ。私が聞いているのはね、あなたが他の誰でもない、この私のサーバントかってことだけよ。それをはっきりさせない以上、他の質問に答える義務はないわ。
召喚に失敗しておいてそれか。この場合、他にいろいろと言うべきことがあると思うのだな。
Failed You're here, aren't you? Failed summoning. God, you got here, didn't you? You're in one piece. It's fine. Didn't like the furniture anyway. I said so myself.
そんなのないわよ。主従関係は一番初めにはっきりさせておくべきものだもの。
The servant's eyebrow twitches. He isn't even bothering to hide his dissatisfaction with me. I wonder if it's because of the half-baked summoning.
主従関係ははっきりさせておくか。やることは失点だらけだが、口だけは達者らしい。
This guy.
なあ、確かにその意見には賛成だ。どちらが強者で、どちらが弱者なのか、明確にしておかなければ、お互いやりづらかろう。
The servant eyes me meaningfully, still relaxing on the rubble of my living room.
どちらが弱者かですって？
ああ、私もサーバントだ。呼ばれたからには主従関係を認めるさ。だが、それはあくまで契約上の話だろう。
What are you trying to say to me here?
どちらがより優れたものか、共に戦うにふさわしい相手かを測るのは別になる。
Are you questioning the worth of the great Rin Tosaka herself?
さて、その件でいくと、君は私のマスターにふさわしい魔術師なのかな、お嬢さん。
You shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have said that. bro. Servant smirks. First, he destroys my house and acts like he's king of the castle. And now he has the nerve to ask whether I'm worthy?
あなたの意見なんて聞いてないわ。私が聞いているのはあなたが私のサーバントかどうかってことだけよ。
I repeat myself, stealing my gaze. I'm not going to back down from this condescending jerk.
ほう、なるほどなるほど。そんな当たり前のことは答えるまでもないと。実に勇ましい。いや、気概だけなら立派なマスターだが。
だから順番を間違えるなっていうの。一番初めに確認するのは召喚者の務めよ。さあ答えなさい。あなたは私のサーバントなのね。
Sticking to the formalities. I step forward aggressively, ready to pounce depending on his answer.
強情なお嬢さんだ。これでは話が進まんな。仕方あるまい。仮に私が君のサーバントだとしよう。で、その場合、君が私のマスターなのか？いやまあ、あくまで仮の話だが。
Oh, finally we're getting somewhere.
当たり前じゃない。あなたが私に呼ばれたサーバントなら、あなたのマスターは私以外に誰がいるっていうのよ。
I glare at this rude man, giving my seething head a moment to cool down.
おう、そうか。まあ仮の話なんだが、とりあえずそうだとしよう。
God, this guy's hard work, isn't he?
それで、君が私のマスターである証はどこにある？
What do you want, my business card? The servant blithely asks, smirking all the while. He's clearly trying to goad me with these questions into losing my temper.
ここよ。あなたのマスターである証ってこれでしょ。
Yeah. I show him the command spells on my right hand. Don't think I was born yesterday, unlike some people in this room. Father's told me enough that I know what command spells are, at least.
納得いった。これでもまだ文句を言うの？
I thrust the symbols at him in challenge, but the lounging servant just rolls his eyes.
まあ言ったな。
I gotta take a sip of water.
本気で言っているのか、お嬢さん。
I'm back. Oh, this guy's not taking us seriously. His face darkens, looking even more disgruntled.
本気かってなんでよ。
その考えがだ。霊樹があればマスターなのか？霊樹などサーバントを利する道具に過ぎないだろう。まったく、そんな形だけのものでマスターブルとはな。私が見たかったのは、君が忠誠を振るうにふさわしい人物かどうかだったのだが。
That makes sense. Normally you'd think of command spells if someone asked to proof your master, right?
何よ。それじゃあ私はマスター失格？
そう願いたいが、そうはいくまい。霊樹がある以上、私の召喚者は君のようだ。信じがたいが、君は本当に私のマスターらしいな。
He shrugs in mock exhaustion. This guy's not taking us seriously, guys. Bits of the ceiling still falling down. Uh-oh. I've reached my boiling point. And I'm not gonna cool down in time.
全くもって不満だが認めよう。とりあえず君は私のマスターだ。だが私にも条件がある。私は今後君の言い分には従わない。戦闘方針は私が決めるし、君はそれに従って行動する。
I don't think that's gonna fly, bro.
これが最大の譲歩だ。それで構わないな、お嬢さん。
Ah. Sorry, father. I'm at my limit.
そう不満だけど認めるくせに私の意見には取り合わないってどういうことかしら。あなたは私のサーバントなんでしょ。
I ask, in a trembling voice. After I spat over the command spells, this is my last desperate attempt at dialogue. And yet...
ああ、形の上だけはな。故に形式上は君に従ってやる。だが戦うのは私自身だ。君はこの家の地下にでも隠れて聖杯戦争が終わるまでじっとしていればいい。
Yeah, it's not gonna fly. It's not gonna fly, man. It's not gonna fly.
それなら未熟な君でも命だけは助かるだろう。
He's looking down on me, declaring he expects nothing from me.
怒ったのか？いや、もちろん君の立場は尊重するよ。私はマスターを勝利させるために呼ばれたものだからな。私の勝利は君のものだし、戦いで得たものは全て君にくれてやる。それなら文句はなかろう。どうせ君にレイジは使えまい。まあ、後のことは私に任せて、君は自分の身の安全を。
Oh? Can't even use those command seal? My man. You should not have said that.
あったまきた。いいわ、そんなに言うなら使ってやろうじゃない。
Yeah, you show him who's boss, Ran.
アンファン。
No more mercy. I've got nothing else left for a jackass like this.
まさか。
そのまさかよ、この礼儀知らず。フィアトラーク、アイノイエナーゲン、アイノイエスケナツ、アイノイエスフィアブレヒン。
待て、正気かマスター。そんなことでレイジを使うやつが。
うるさい。いい？あんたは私のサーバントなら私の言い分には絶対服従ってもんでしょ。
The emblem on my right hand aches. Free command spells. They allow a master to issue free, unbreakable commands to their servants.
考えないですか君は。こんな大雑把なことにレイジを使うなど。
Yeah, it's too late to whine now, bucko! I didn't expect this to happen either. I want to die of self-loathing. Can't believe I just burned one of my precious command seals in a petty squabble. Oh, that's a crazy animation. After that, I retreated from the ruins of the parlour and went to my bedroom. Before me stands the servant whom my command spells compelled absolute obedience from. Supposedly, anyway.
なるほど。君の性質は大体理解したぞ、マスター。
Would call this absolute obedience. Should probably save. Saving. No, the current one is this one. That's gonna get confusing. I'll probably just stick that. Oh well.
念のため尋ねるが、君は レイジがどれほど重要か理解しているのか、マスター。
Yeah, I got a rough idea.
知ってるわよ。サーバントを律する3回きりの命令権でしょ。それが何よ。
いいかね。レイジはサーバントを強制的に行動させるものだ。それは行動を止めるだけでなく行動を強化させるという意味でもある。
That's just I got it. Yeah, yeah.
例えば私はここから遠くの場所まで瞬間的には移動できない。だがレイジで行けと命じればそれが私と君の魔力で届くことならば可能となる。
Right, yeah, yeah.
強制命令権とはそういうことだ。サーバント自身でも制御できない肉体の限界さえ突破させる大魔術の結晶が3つの霊樹なのだ。
That's fine.
知ってるわよ、そんなこと。いいじゃない、まだ2つあるんだし。あなたに命じた規則は無駄じゃないんだし。
確かにこれは私の誤算だった。
Oh yeah, boy. Big time.
霊樹というものは曖昧な命令には効きが弱くなる。私を守り通せ、この戦いに勝てなどといった広く長く効果が続くものには霊樹の力が弱くなる。効き目は長く逆に次の一撃を死ぬ気で放て、あのグラスだけは壊すなといった単一の命令は絶対で、よほど強力なサーバントでも逆らうのは難しくなる。さてここまでで私が言いたいことがわかるな、マスター。
わかるわよ。要するに広く長い命令は意味がないんでしょ。効果も戒めも薄いならサーバントは霊樹に逆らって行動できる。そんな効き目の薄い命令をするなら絶対的な単一の命令をした方がいい。
そうだ。霊樹とはもともと自分たちの能力以上の奇跡を起こすためのもの。それを
I see where he's going with this.
などで消費する具合
I see where he's going with this.
君の先ほどの霊樹はまさにそれだ。私が君に従うかは話し合いで解決できたことだし、仮に霊樹を使ったところで全ての言動に絶対服従など霊樹が100あっても実現できない。
Bro, we tried talking. You weren't listening.
じゃあ私のさっきの霊樹は無意味ってこと？
通常ならそうなのだがな。どうも君の魔術師としての性能は桁が違ったらしい。
Well, you're not just dealing with an ordinary mage, you're dealing with a Tosaka. Is he shocked or happy? My servant's lips twitch upwards, even as he sighs.
桁が違ったって、もしかしてちょっとあなた、自分が今どんな状態なのか正直に話してみなさい。
The implications dawn on me, and I ask him eagerly.
ああ、誤算というのはそれだ。先ほどの命令では少しはマスターの意見を尊重しようという程度の心変わりにしかならない。
Did it?
だが今の私は君の言葉に強い強制を感じている。君の意見に異を唱えると、そうだな、ランクが一つばかり落ちるようだ。つまりマスターの意向に逆らうと体が重くなって動きづらいというところか。
That we can work with. My servant shrugs in resignation. So he's saying that my command spell wasn't a waste, but an actual benefit? He's still being as sarcastic as ever, so it doesn't seem to have had any effect. Besides, even if he's weakened, I doubt even 10 of me could resist if he decided to rebel against me.
前言を撤回しよう、マスター。年齢は若いが、君は卓越した魔術師だ。
Was there ever any doubt?
子供と侮り戦いから遠ざけようとしたのは私の過ちだった。無礼ともども謝ろう。
The servant straightens his posture, gives me a formal bow.
やめてよ。確かにいろいろ言い合ったけど、そんなの喧嘩両成敗っていうか。
そうか。いや、話のわかるマスターで助かった。
なんか切り返し早いわね、あんた。
何？誤算は誤算だったが、嬉しい誤算というやつだったからな。これほどの才能があるのなら、君を戦いに巻き込むことに異論はない。
Is this his roundabout way of saying I'm a strong master? Without
じゃあ
actually saying?
レイジ抜きで私がマスターだって認めるのね。
無論だ。先ほどは召喚されたばかりで馴染んでいなかったが、今では完全につながった。魔術
契約
Now that he mentions it, something does feel weird about my body. Oh, we're having a heart attack! Oh no! It's as if my closed-off nerves are now connected to the outside. Specifically, I can feel a portion of my magical energy flowing to the man before me.
そっか。サーバントは聖杯に呼ばれるけど、呼ばれたサーバントをこの世に留めるのは。
そう、マスターの力だ。サーバントはマスターからの魔力提供によってこの世にとどまる。魔力提供量は十分だ。経験的に問題はありそうだが、君の能力は飛び抜けている。普通の魔術師ならばサーバントを召喚した瞬間に意識を失っているだろう。だというのに君は活力に満ちている。先ほどのレイジといい、この魔力量といい、マスターとして君は間違いなく一流だ。
That's a good thing! Okay.
今更褒めたって何も出ないけど。
I break eye contact out of embarrassment. Well, I didn't see this coming. I know the command smell is making him obey me, but still. This superhuman servant is sincerely acknowledging me as his master.
で、あなた何のサーバント？
You're a saber, right? Because Tosaka would only ever summon a saber. There's no way they'd summon any of the other classes. That would be crazy. Beneath them. I clear my head and return to business.
見てわからないか？ああ、それは結構。
I take it all back. He's definitely making fun of me.
わかったわ。これはマスターとしての質問よ。ねえ、あなたセイバーじゃないの？
Ever hopeful, Rin. Ever hopeful.
残念ながら剣は持っていない。
Bro, you got loads of swords. Who you fooling? I suspected as much. When all's said and done, and I got the time wrong, my summoning circle didn't do its job, and my servant was spat out into some random room. It was far too sloppy of a ritual to summon the strongest servant, Saber.
ドジったわ。あれだけ宝石を使っておいてセイバーじゃないなんて目も当てられない。
That's okay, nobody needs to know. You can just kind of just not tell anybody, it's fine.
悪かったな、セイバーでなくて。
え？ああ、うん。そりゃ通行のミスだから残念だけど、悪いのは私なんだから。
ああ、どうせアーチャーでは派手さに欠けるだろうよ。いいだろう。後で今の暴言を悔やませてやる。その時になって謝っても聞かないからな。
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
はい？
What a surprise! The unidentified servant seems to be sulking. Maybe my fixation on Saber offended him.
何？勘に触った？あーちゃん。
触った。見ていろ。必ず自分が幸運だったと思い知らせてやる。
I shall await with bated breath, my good friend. Archer retorts with a sidelong glance. There's a really spiteful air about him, but their reaction felt somehow childish, free of malice. You know, I'd actually be a pretty decent guy.
そうね。それじゃあ必ず私を後悔させて、あーちゃん。そうなったら素直に謝らせてもらうから。
ああ、忘れるなよ、マスター。己が召喚したものがどれほどのものか知って感謝するがいい。もっともその時になって謝られてもこちらの気は晴れんだろうかな。
Archer huffs, even as his lips twist into a grin. Oh yeah, this one's got a rotten personality, alright.
まあいいわ。それであんたどこの英霊なのよ。
Silent treatment. Archer doesn't answer. His sardonic expression is replaced by a deepening frown.
あーちゃん？マスターである私がサーバントであるあなたに聞いているんだけど。
それは秘密だ。
You're secret!
は？
私がどのようなものだったかは答えられない。
あのね、つまんない理由だったら怒るわよ。
それは。
There's that face again. Archer opens and closes his mouth, as if he's having trouble voicing an uncomfortable truth.
なぜかというと、自分でもわからない。
Of course. Wait. What?
はあ？何よそれ。あんた私のことバカにしてるわけ？
マスターを侮辱するつもりはない。ただこれは君の不完全な召喚のツケだぞ。どうも記憶に混乱が見られる。自分が何者であるかはわかるのだが、名前や素性がどうも曖昧だ。まあさして重要な欠落ではないから気にすることはないのだが。
I think this might be your fault, Rin.
気にすることはないって。気にするわよそんなの。あんたがどんな英霊か知らなきゃどのくらい強いのかわからないじゃない。
なんだ、そんなことは問題ではなかろう。さまつな問題だよ、それは。
さまつってあんたね、相棒の強さがわからないんじゃ作戦の立てようがないでしょ。そんなんで戦っていけるわけないじゃない。
That's okay, Rin. We'll wing it. We'll wing it. It's fine. We got this. It's in the bag.
何を言う。私は君が呼び出したサーバントだ。それが最強でないはずがない。
You're not admitting. The guy's got a point there, Rin. He's so straightforward. Crimson Knight fixes me with a gaze full of confidence and trust. My brain grinds to a halt. There's no deception in Archer's words. He's sincerely giving me more credit than I deserve, even though we've only just met. My cheeks are burning. I'm sure I'm blushing bright red right now. Oh, you are, lass, you are. Surprise attacks like this tend to be my weakness.
もういいか。誰にも正体がわからないってことには変わりはないんだし、敵を騙すにはまず味方からって言うし。
I turn away from Archer to hide my embarrassment. I'm sure I'll figure it out in due time what sort of servant he is anyway. For now, we have other priorities.
わかった。しばらくあなたの正体に関しては不問にしましょう。それじゃあじゃあ最初の仕事だけど。
Oh.
早速か。好戦的だな、君は。 それで敵は
Before he can say enemy, I toss a broom and a dustpan at him.
下の掃除お願い。あんたが散らかしたんだから責任持ってきれいにしといてね。
A few seconds pass in stunned silence. When Archer finally regains his senses, he grips the broom indignantly.
待て君はサーバントを何だと思っている
I don't know, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, actually.
使い魔でしょ。ちょっと生意気で扱いに困るけど。
Archer cuts himself off. I've no intention of letting him off, and if he tries to weasel out of it, I still have a card to play.
意義ありそのような命令はこと
いいの？これマスターとしての命令よ。マスターの方針に逆らったら体が重くなるんだっけ？まあ、あなたはその程度じゃどうってことないだろうけど、そのペナルティは今を掃除するまで続くのよ。
He stands there for several more seconds, with broom in hand, grumbling under his breath. And so, the archer in the red mantle closes his eyes.
了解した地獄に落ちろマスター
and gracefully accepts my orders. Now then, it's getting late, so I should rest. Decide how to deal with him once I wake up. The moon. A fateful day draws to a close. No. Rather, my fate was shaped by this night. That makes 6, including me. Once the 7th and final master summons their servant, the Holy Grail War of this generation will begin. In the not-so-distant future, the battle I've been waiting 10 long years for is about to commence. February the 1st. 1st of February, whichever calendar you use. And so it begins. The Holy Grail War. If I click save now. Save. Bloop. Yes. Oh, how are we still in the prologue? It's coming up to 3 hours. Damn, okay. Well, I think we're going to have about maybe 15-20 minutes left, and then I think I'm going to call it there for today. But we're definitely getting into this now. It's very fun. Yeah, so we've got a bit more time left. We'll see how far we get. The Holy Grail War. It's a grand ritual. It's been repeated for hundreds of years. A fight to the death, and 7 participants, of which only 1 can survive. It's said that a Holy Grail exists in the land of Fuyuki, and that a number of mages fought over it in the past. Their one and only objective was to obtain the relic called the Grail! However, the Grail's origins are unclear. Well, we all know the story. We're sure it isn't the... Oh, it's a different one. It's a different one. It's a different cup, guys. We're sure it isn't the chalice that held the blood of God, but its power is fearsome enough to be compared to the genuine article. That's right. They say the Holy Grail can grant any wish. Only one person can possess it. The Holy Grail can only grant one wish for one person. Despite that, 7 mages are needed to summon the Grail to this land. 7 collaborators to create one miracle. So, as you might imagine, it was only a matter of time before they started fighting over the Grail. Like so many conflicts, it started as a competition over property rights. The 7 mages equally use the power of the Holy Grail to summon their respective familiars, and then they do battle over the Grail itself. Only one mage can obtain the Grail. As a result, 7 people who started as colleagues ended up in a ferocious battle to the death. That's the gist of the ritual known as the Holy Grail War, a struggle for ownership between mages. The mages chosen by the Holy Grail are called Masters, who use the blessings of the Grail to acquire powerful familiars known as servants. Those went too fast, I wasn't able to read them. 2 things serve as proof that one has become a master: the summoning and command of a servant, and the mark of command spells to compel the servant's servitude. Servitude. Don't say that many times while drunk. The first goes without saying, of course. The archer I summoned yesterday, no, a few hours ago, to be exact, is Rin Tosaka's servant. As for the second, a master must closely guard the command spells that control one's servant. This is probably the most critical aspect of being a master. When I summoned Archer, symbols appeared on my right hand, namely, command spells. Stigmata bestowed by the Holy Grail upon the summoning of a servant that marks one's new status as a master. A massive amount of magical energy is compressed into these seals, whose power is fleeting rather than long-lasting. They disappear once they're used, and as their shape suggests, each mark represents a single use. In other words, one only gets 3 shots. The master who's used up all 3 command spells can no longer control a servant, and is as good as dead. Therefore, command spells must be handled with care until the very end, since they're as valuable as one's own life. It pains me to no end that I burned one right off the bat. But it wasn't a total waste, so I'll chalk it up as a win. After all, a servant could turn on its master at any time. If one command spell is what it takes to put a collar on him, then I consider it a fair trade. And that's about it for the broader strokes of this business. Once 7 servants have been summoned, the Holy Grail War will begin. Tonight's sleep will be a fitful one. I don't know when the final master will appear, but they could be right around the corner. I wonder who they could possibly be. I feel sluggish. My bleary gaze goes up to the window, only to see that it's already bright outside.
9時過ぎてる。遅刻どころの話じゃない。
Ooh, someone's late. After a drowsy check of the clocks, I make up my mind to skip school today.
体が重い。半分以上持ってかれたみたいね。これは。
Yeah, I think after what happened yesterday, yeah, you deserve a sick day. You know, just call in, tell them you have a cold. It's fine. They'll understand. They won't want you coming in and spreading germs everywhere. It's fine. They'll understand. It's cool. You're an honest student. They won't think you're going truant. Sitting up in bed, I heave a long sigh. Not being a morning person isn't enough to explain why I feel so dull. I think Archer mentioned something about it. A master would be out of commission after summoning a servant.
そうだった。私、セイバーじゃなくってアーチャーを呼び出したんだ。
I remember it all clearly now. I'd rather not, to be honest, but it's not as if denying the facts will let me do it over.
魔力が戻るまで一日ちょいか。今日は鳴らし運転ってことにしよう。
Sounds like a plan. I drag myself out of bed. A mental boxing match rages between the outside air, which is quite warm for winter, and the comfort of my bedsheets. Oh, I know that fight, sister. I know that fight. It concludes in a 3-second knockout against the temptation of going back to sleep. I check my body in the mirror. Nothing out of place, aside from the loss of half my usual magical energy.
まあ、問題なんてあるわけないけど。
I review the situation. I summons the servant, Archer, who doesn't have an ounce of respect for his master. Make matters worse, he doesn't even know who he is. Wow, talk about a headache.
あいつの記憶が戻るまで切り札は封印か。思い出せないんじゃ使いようがないしね。
Servants are strong familiars, all on their own. But what makes them truly formidable is the secret weapon they each possess. Do we all know what that is? Frustratingly, other than Archer, of course. Who does? Frustratingly, Archer claims to have forgotten what his is.
まあ、火はこっちにもあるし、なんとかやっていくしかないか。
We're both in the same boat then. I can sorry, yawn. I can only pray that he'll sort his memories out. But who knows how long that might take. Good grief. I've really got my work cut out for... For what? Whoa!
見直したかもこれ。
He fixed everything! The parlor is completely back to normal! I figured he'd just maybe clear away the detritus. The room is spotless! I can't help but be impressed! How did he do it? He must have felt bad for wrecking the place. I doubt he would have gone to the trouble otherwise. I guess I ought to commend him for being a more decent guy than I...
日はとっくに昇っているぞ。また、随分とだらしがないんだな、君は。
I retract my statement. I love the dynamic these two have. It's good. There is no remorseful bone in his body!
おはよう。そういうあんたは随分とリラックスしてるよね。今を好き勝手使ってくれちゃってさ。
何？一晩過ごした部屋だからな。どこに何があるか把握したよ。おう。ついでだから厨房も片付けておいた。もう少し荒れているかと思ったが、なかなか気の行き届いた厨房だ。一人暮らしの洋館にしては上等だな。
The kitchen, you say? I have a headache. I'd have to put up with a surgeon judging my interior decoration. What servants will care about fighting? We're sure this guy isn't effective.
なるほど。本調子ではなさそうだな。昨夜は元気だったが、睡眠をとって疲れが出たのだろう。紅茶でよければご馳走しよ
う。Tea? Acting like he owns the place. Not missing a beat. Archer produces a teacup and fills it with expensive reddish tea he's been brewing. Ooh, sounds like that's the good stuff. There's a lot I want to say right now. Oddly enough, I can't work up the indignation to. The way he does it all is so refined. I've got to admit, he might actually be rather cultured.
まあいいけど、疲れてるのは事実だし、飲む。
I sit down on the chair. The teacup is placed soundlessly in front of me. I take a sip. Oh, it's delicious. Of course it is. I expected as much, since it is my favorite Chinese tea, a spring harvest Hongcha. I'd be upset if it didn't taste good. On that note, I'd normally be upset if someone used my favorite tea leaves without asking. It makes me mad. The tea was brewed so exquisitely, or the pleasure it brings is overcoming my anger. Well, now we know how to diffuse it. That's good to know.
ちょっと、何笑ってるのよ、あんた。
何、感想が聞きたかったが、その顔では聞くまでもないと思っただけだ。
Yeah, he's got us sussed. I set the teacup down with a forceful thud. No, not the china! You could chip it. Honestly.
もったいない。熱いうちに味わった方がいいぞ。私が気に障るなら消えているが。
ごちそうさま。結構よ。私は茶坊主が欲しくてマスターになったわけじゃないわ。あなたもね、頼みもしないことをする必要はないわよ。
Oh, girl. Win. You already are a tea snob. It's okay.
そうか。確かに私も茶坊主になったり後片付けをするために契約したわけではない。君がそういうのならばこれからは気をつけよ
う。ええ、私が求めているのは戦力としての使い魔よ。
It doesn't mean you can't be friends.
家事をこなすサーバントなんて聞いたことがないし、する必要も特にないわ。
Hey, Rin, you told him to do household chores. That's on you.
ん？特にはないとはどういう意味かな？
You asked?
別に好きなようにとって結構よ。それよりあなた自分の正体を思い出せた？
Archer shakes his head in the negative. That doesn't bode well. If he can't remember after a single night, his memories probably won't return easily. There are some measures I can try today, but...
わかった。あなたの記憶に関してはおいおい対策を考えとく。じゃあ出かける支度をして、ハッチャー。召喚されたばかりで勝手もわからないでしょ。街を案内してあげるから。
出かける支度？いや、そんな必要はないだろう。出るのならばすぐに出られるが。
Ooh, this guy's eager. He wants to see the sights.
あのね、そんな格好で出歩くつもり？どう見ても普通じゃないし、他のマスターが見たら一発でサーバントってわかるじゃない。
What are you talking about? That outfit's awesome. Everyone looking at they'll think he's a badass.
私、自分から私はマスターですなんて言いふらす気はないんだけど。
ああ、そういうことか。それも問題はない。確かに着替える必要はあるが、それは実体化している時だけでね。サーバントはもともと霊体だ。非戦闘時には霊体になってマスターにかける負担を減らす。
ああ、そっか。召喚されたって英霊は英霊だものね。霊体に肉体を与えるのはマスターの魔力なんだから、私が魔力提供をカットすれば。
自然。我々も霊体に戻る。
Uh-huh.
そうなったサーバントは守護霊のようなものだ。 レイラインでつながっているマスター以外には観測されない。もっとも会話程度はできるから偵察ならばしょうがないが。
That could come in handy.
お、便利。
Yeah, that's
そ
what I
れじ
said.
ゃあ本当に他のマスターを探し出すなんて難しいんだ。
まあだが魔術師は魔術師を知覚できるだろう。それと同じで、サーバントもサーバントを感知できる。優れた魔術を知るサーバントならば遠く離れたサーバントの位置さえ把握するだろう。
I see. Archer has it in one. Masters are supposed to be capable mages, and the more magical energy the mage has, the better they are at detecting traces of magical energy. As far as I know, however, there isn't anyone else around with that degree of power.
で、あんたはどうなの？他のサーバントの位置、わかる？
マスター、私のクラスは何か忘れたのか？遠く離れた敵の位置を探るなど騎士上がりにできるものか。
He has a point there. Archer's magical entities are not on that level. It's likely only the magically powerful caster is capable of easily locating distant foes.
わかったわ。じゃあ、とりあえず後についてきて、ハーチャー。あなたの呼び出された世界を見せてあげるから。
そう目新しいものではなさそうだがね。それよりマスター、君、大切なことを忘れていないか？
え？大切なことって何？
まったく。君、まだ本調子ではないぞ。契約において最も重要な交換を私たちは未だしていない。
Most critical point of our contract? Well, if we've not signed it? If we've not signed the paperwork?
契約において最も重要な交換。
Is he demanding equivalent exchange? No, that can't be it. Chance to take part in the Holy Grail War's already rolled enough for a servant. There shouldn't be anything else left to trade.
君な、朝は弱いんだな、本当に。
I know I'm not a morning person. Archer sounds exasperated. His oh so sardonic manner of speech finally gives me an idea. Come to think of it, he's never once called me by my name.
ああ、しまった。名前。
思い当たったか？まあ、今からでも遅くはないさ。それでマスター、君の名前は？これからは何と呼べばいい？
Archer sounds sulky. Oh man, he really is a decent person. I'm sure of it now. After all, there's no tangible benefit to exchanging names. Servants are forcefully bound to their masters by the command spells. While names are key to contracting with a regular familiar, there's no need for a master and a servant to be so intimate. But it's important to Archer. He's clearly trying to establish trust between comrades in arms, regardless of the command spells.
私、遠坂凛よ。あなたの好きなように呼んでいいわ。
Yeah, you can just call it Ween, 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 Ween. You just call her that. It's fine. She won't mind. Honest. I answer in a clipped tone. I'm willing to let slip any admiration. You'd probably just call me something impersonal like master or hey you, which works out just fine for me. Except Archer chews on Rin Tosaka for a moment.
それではリンと。ああ、この響きは実に君に似合っている。
Queen! He says something really forward.
リン、どうした？何やら顔色がおかしいが。
うるさい。いいからさっさと行くわよ、あーちゃん。 とにかくのんびりしてる暇なんてないんだから。
Oh, she's embarrassed again. I turn on my heel and storm away, huffing. This is so infuriating. Not even sure why. Oh, sister, we all know why. Damn that archer. Did he say that just to mess with me?
ありえる。こいつなら絶対そうだ。
Yeah, I'm sure that's it. Must be all part of his plan to get me all flustered. I better be careful. Gotta work with this wise guy from here on out. Okay, well, it's 7 o'clock. I think we'll call it there. But we're finally getting it. We're 3 hours into the game. Things going well. Getting some sweet, sweet tsundere action. I love the kind of relationship between these two. It's the back and forth. I love it. It's great. So I think what we will do is we shall save. Yes, save there. Good. And save it's there. Yep. Oh, so just the hours worn off. What's up with that? Oh well. Okay, so as I said, it's 7 o'clock now, so I think I will have to love you and leave you. We'll definitely come back to this again. We're still in the prologue. Well, I think we might be at this one for quite a while, but I'm not going to complain. Really enjoying it so far. Anyway, as always, don't forget to kiss your homies goodnight, and I will see you when I see you. Laters. Bye. Bye-bye.